Hello YouTube and welcome back to Fire Gaming Project. So in today's video, I'll just be doing the usual, like a quick live stream just to spend my resin because I already have 5 condensed resin left over and I am already at, let me see, how many am I at? I'm at, I think, 140 something out of 160. So I'm about to like max out, so that's why I need to do it now. Although the server it was not going to reset until 2 hours later, but this won't take 2 hours because I already did everything last night, basically, after server reset. Yesterday was a really awesome live stream session because it ended up being longer. But yeah, anyway. So I'll be just doing this. So if any of you guys want to join me while I'm here and chat with me in the chat about any topics today, then feel free. If not, then catch me on replay and feel free to leave comments. And also check out my Discord server where you can leave me comments or talk amongst yourselves with other players and that are part of this small community. And I'll respond throughout the day as well. Yeah. So if I finish this before the server, see if I'm going to still be awake when the server resets at that time. But yeah, that's the goal. So let me just quickly make sure that my YouTube portion is set up as well. So I'm just going to quickly add in my thumbnail and all that too. So while we're just getting set up here, basically. So give me a sec here. Let me see. And then I'm just setting up my browser. So let's see here. Okay. So usually I do this now before the stream ends because there's usually not that many people in the beginning, and also because if I did it at the end, I may not remember, and also at the then the thumbnail that is there, the default screen saver or the thumbnail is just basically my channel logo. So I just want to make sure that I put the one that I quickly did design for. So today, I just changed out the thumbnail a little bit, so it'd be a different wallpaper that we'll be using. Yeah, so I'm just getting set up here. And I have to tag it, because just giving you the heads up from like the back end, this menu does not appear until I go live, and then I can add in this stuff. But on PS5, I can pre-fill some of the video title and the tags, but I have to type in the game title, and I have to load the thumbnail in manually afterward. So that's what I'm doing right now, and it usually takes a moment to load. And yeah, because yesterday's video, after 2.3 launched, that one was longer, obviously, because that was right after it launched and all the way through to server reset as well. So it technically would include today's date because today has not ended yet. But we'll see what happens. Right now, I'm using November 24th for this video, but maybe if this video lasts till after midnight, then I might rename it to November 25th. So we'll see. Anyway, that's just a small little admin thing. Alright, I'm just gonna claim my stuff here. There's nothing else to claim really, so this one is just really literally resin spend, and maybe I don't think my stuff is like ready to mine yet, my ores. I don't think that they reset or respawned yet, so yeah. And then I'm just trying to do this for the little achievement thing, the battle pass achievement, where you have to create 10 furnishings. So I'm gonna create the ones that obviously these ones that I don't have yet. Yeah, so we'll do that. Make sure that there's no bonus. Oop. Oh, shoot. I think I did too many of them. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of one. Cancel. Because I want to just get one of each of the ones I haven't gotten yet, because it has a little icon at the top, meaning that you haven't gotten it yet. So this one. Okay, there's a bit of a lag when I'm pressing it, that's why. Okay, so those are the 5, and then I can always, then next week I can like get more or whatever. Yeah, perfect. And then tomorrow, whenever I log in, then those will be ready to go. Perfect. So we'll go here and we'll just quickly grab, oh, I don't have enough. Oh, right, I didn't claim it yet. Hang on. Here. Ooh, 4, okay. Okay, and then Realm Depot, and then I should be able to finish this one off. Yes. Perfect. Good. And then we'll wait and we'll try to finish off the unctions, and then I don't get any of these other things because now that there's more blueprints and stuff like that, then anything extra after getting all of these at the end of the week, then I can go and try to get some blueprints. Okay. Perfect. And I have not started or do not plan to do my Inazuma teapot layout yet. So, but it doesn't hurt to start like, doing some blueprints here and there, and getting the decor items ready, the furnishing items. So, yep. Alrighty, okay. So, let's see here. Yeah, I'm at 145, and I have 5 condensed resins. So, I mean, I could easily do like ley lines, but I don't need to do that. Let me see, what am I gonna do? Okay, let's just see. Oops, clicked the wrong thing. Let's just see what kind of things are available today, shall we? So, ballad. Maybe I'll do ballad because albedo is gold, okay, and light. I know some people were telling me on my chat yesterday that maybe I should do artifacts and stuff, but then I don't really have anyone that I really want to rebuild right now because I didn't really get any new characters. I mean, like Toma, I leveled him up and that was that, right? I just gave him whatever I had and I just leveled it up. So yeah, I fought a lot of stuff for him. So maybe I'll do Ballad because now, after using Albedo in his test engine with the Cinnabar Spindle, which we haven't started the event for yet, he's going to be really strong and really smooth to use. Um, Still may not be like, as strong as other characters, but definitely stronger than his original form now. So definitely I'm interested. I'm not interested in farming his defense dungeon right now. And I've already seen other bigger streamers like I Win to Lose and Second Focal and them. They've already farmed and tried it out, and that's great. Um, if you can get good pieces, sure. But then like, at the end of the day, it's like you have to replace your pieces because most people already gave him defense main stat or substat pieces that they didn't want, right? Because technically he's like, our so-called garbage dumpster. We can just give him all that, right? But of course, the whole point is to bring Geo and defense back into the meta, so it's fine. Um, yeah, okay. So I'm gonna need to bring two my weaker characters in on purpose because I'm trying to get them to get their companionship. So let's see. Oh, it'll be Toma, and I guess I'll bring Amber, not because I'm using her, but because they can give me the resonance. Yeah, let's do that. Because I'm just doing this to clear the condensed resins. Perfect.
安如磐石，天理长驱。
小心着火！后援登场！百发百中。
Just doing all that, unleashing it all so that I can level up Radiant Chopin's Burst. Oh, I'm taking damage. Oh, because the stupid cryo keeps picking at my shield. Yeah, we already said the real boss in this dungeon is the freaking cryo floor and the cryo crap that falls on the icicles. I guess I don't have to like spend all the condensed here. I don't have to, I guess. But it's okay, whatever. Let's just do it. Perfect. Let's go. Let's go. And something else I found out, I didn't know that the PlayStation controllers can actually be used to sync up with like iPads. I didn't know that. I saw people doing that on their YouTube channel. I mean, obviously I'm I'm not that techy, I guess. I didn't know that because I didn't have an iPad for the longest time. So my job now gave me an iPad, but for work purposes, obviously, so I'm not going to use that for playing games. So I didn't know that. And then anyway, it also made me consider maybe I should buy a new iPad, but then I'm not going to do that for Genshin. But in the future, maybe if I, you know, have a need, maybe. Because like the new iPad Mini seems kind of interesting, actually. Okay. Perfect. Still not like the greatest time or anything, whatever. So yeah, let's just level up the talents for Albedo. I'm gonna bring him up to 888. Because now with the Cinnabar Spindle upcoming, he would be better with normal attacks as well. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'll bring him up to 888. That's my current plan. I don't know if it's gonna happen today, obviously, but at least we're getting a start on it. I don't know if I'm willing to go and bring him up to like 999 though, but definitely I will not be giving him any of my crowns. I don't have any more crowns anyway, but I don't think I would crown him in any case. Plus in his case, I already got him to companionship level 10, so I already don't use him anymore. And I'm not planning to get his constellations either, as I've already mentioned in my videos recently. So this patch will be very much a light patch for me, so it's good because it'll be less spending. I'm still not guaranteed that I'm going to pull for Ito yet. I have to really wait and see. Yeah. Nothing against them, it's just I'm not sure. Okay. Perfect. Right, because might as well just use her burst at the end because to break their shield and whatever. Because oh good, a gold one. The little bit of the burst, like the accumulation of her stacks, does not carry over, as you can see. It's blank now. So might as well just spend it. And I think that's applicable to all domains. But it's important to unleash everyone else's ult to power up her you know, her ult a bit more, stack it up. Good, okay, perfect. All good. Because right now I don't have any people in the chat with me. I can see that people came in and out of this video, and that's okay. Totally fine. Again, like I said, this probably is going to be a really quick stream because I won't have anything else to do after I spend all the resin, right? And then after that, I won't. I'll probably just do some light mining. I don't think I already have enough. Because yesterday I was able to get everything. So technically I'm good in terms of even mining today. But let's just see. Because content-wise, there's nothing happening. Tomorrow is the big day when Albedo's event becomes available. Tomorrow, probably during the daytime. So it's apparently different time for different people, different servers. So yeah, for me it's going to be sometime during tomorrow early afternoon, I think. Obviously I'll be working, so I won't be playing, obviously. But when I come home tomorrow evening, I will play probably. So that's something to look forward to.
之时无处遁逃。
后援登场，小心着火。
天动万象，
Ugh. Push too far. Okay. Alrighty. Coolios. That's the last condensed. That didn't take too long. Obviously. Even if they're like a minute and a half per. Okay, so now I'm at like 140. So what I'm gonna do is instead of making this more torturesome than it needs to be, I'm actually gonna leave and go and make them condense instead, because then it saves my time. Other than like, you know, I could obviously continue just doing them at 20 each, but then that's kind of a waste of time for as well. So let's just do them, you know, condensed. Perfect. And then I can do the Battle Pass experience. Yes, this. And then didn't I get the domain one yet? No, one more. Okay, that's perfect. Good. Oh yeah, I might as well now convert the talent and see. So because I left him at 777 only, I might actually need some of the silver ones. Let me just double check here. Oh, gold. Okay, okay, good. We need... Oh, good, and I was able to get some for this. Okay, but I'll focus on these ones first, so I just need gold now. Okay, never mind. So, okay, that's good then. Come on, bonus. No, none. Hey, that may be enough. Because he's at 667, so he's actually really close already. And to get to 8 is actually relatively cheap compared to, you know, 9 and 10. Okay, let's just do this first. And this one. Okay. And then these two, right? So it's going to be 4 and then, what was it? 6, right? And then 12 is, yeah, so from 8 on, so 8 to 9 is the one that's more expensive, obviously. So like I said, he won't be crowned, but actually, now that I think about it, maybe I'll bring him up to 8 for this as well. Let's bring him up to 8 for this first, and then we can worry about like bringing these to 9 later. Although his E is his most powerful thing, technically. His E and his Q are useful, so maybe, I'm not sure, should I even bother with his normal attack? Although with the Cinnabar Spindle, it gives him the option to become useful in that sense, but maybe it's better not to. Maybe, yeah. Maybe then, yeah, I should just focus on his E. So maybe I'll bring his E to 9. Let's do that first, yeah. We'll do the, we can do the, what did I say? The normal attack later, like, oops, I keep pressing it too many times. We can do that later on, I guess. Not, it won't be today because there's only 3 more attempts for me right now. And then we'll just go with that. Yeah, and then we'll just go from there. Okay, so then maybe what, well, I will, after I do that, and then we'll see if there's anything to mine. Again, I already have enough because I had extra leftover from yesterday, or early, yesterday as in like last night, but it's technically the same day, due to the actual time zone difference. But maybe what I would consider doing is maybe after I do this, I might just take a break and stop the stream and then maybe come back after once the server resets. And we'll see, of course, based on timing. And then if not, come back tomorrow and then we'll do the event instead, which may be more interesting. You know, because I want to change it up too a little bit. So definitely I'm happy to chat with anybody who is available if they want to chat. Hi LZ, how are you? You wouldn't bother leveling up his normal attack? Okay, yeah, that's what I was kind of leaning towards now too, as I was like talking it out loud. Thanks for your confirmation. Yeah. The only reason I'm interested in leveling him up now all of a sudden is because it is his event, and with the Cinnabar Spindle, he does seem to be a little bit better. So yeah. Did you level up your albedo as well, or you're not planning to?
遁逃。道光，意识永恒，奥影看破。
Yours is level 90, 699. Oh, nice. Is it also... Oh, wait. Did you get your C0? You may have shown me last time. Hi, Yadika. How are you? You're farming the new defense engine now? Oh, good. Yes. Make your albedo OP and get like more pieces and I guess ready for Ito and Goro and possibly Noelle if you use her. C0. Okay, that's fine. You're not gonna pull on his banner, right? I don't remember because I know you are kind of a dolphin, so you might. I don't know. Because he's fine at C0 already, so that's the good thing about him because he's a relatively free-to-play friendly kind of or low-budget spend character.
天动万象，
Oh.
微光无射，小心着火。
安如磐石，
奥影看破。
No, albedo cons for me. Yeah, exactly. He's fine at C0. He's good. Yep, and no more Eula cons for me as well. Just I got her C1 back then, and I'm good with that. So, no spending for this first half of this patch, which is good.
固执之火，
你没有退路了。哎，看你
天理长驱，
此刻寂灭之时。
Yadika, are you in class today? And LD, how's your stocks coming along? So I didn't get a chance to talk to you yesterday, but yesterday I flipped another mining crypto mining stock, and I made like 15 or close to 1,500, so 1,450. Yeah, $1,450. Pretty good. Obviously after I flipped it, it went up a little bit more. But whatever. I mean, then the other day when I made the 3,000, I could have made closer to 5,000, I think. But anyway, nothing I can do about that because at the time, if you're okay with it, you're okay with it, right? Anyway, and then today, I was working in the office, so I didn't have time to flip it. And then like, I missed out on flipping it because if I flipped it, I could have made 1,100 more today. But I didn't. That's okay. So there's always hope that tomorrow it'll just go up even more, and then I wouldn't have missed out. Because right now there's a pattern where it's like going up and down basically within a day trade situation for at least here, for some of the crypto mining ones, and therefore we've been able to follow the pattern. And yeah, also it helps that American Thanksgiving is technically tomorrow. That has nothing to do with us because we're in Canada. Our Thanksgiving is in October, but which passed already. But then also because Black Friday is this Friday and then Cyber Monday, so there is the consumer optimism despite the fact that there's inflationary issue and supply chain issues for most retailers this year. But the optimism and the fact that people can, have been vaccinated, or more people have been vaccinated, and there's some easing with COVID restrictions, etc. So then people are feeling more optimistic about the, the end of the year and then the new year, etc., etc., etc. So there is going to be a lot of consumer spending regardless during this holiday season, which is good. Good for stocks at least.
耶，
无处遁逃。
Free time? Nice. That's good.
我之盾，
聚收并蓄，
奥影看破，道光，意识永恒。
Well, I have 28. I guess I'll just do like one more 20 and then be done with it.
光无射，小心着火！后援登场，
剑如雨下。
天动万象，
看看这个，
哎，兔兔伯爵，
暴影看破，
安如磐石，
微光无射，
Ugh, the ice is so annoying.
无处遁逃。
And then in the Discord, I was like just mentioning that I saw like the little leaks for Yunjin and the little clips that people were showing for Yunjin and for Shenhe. And then I was like, well, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it right now, actually. Although I really want Shenhe, but I'm not sure right now. Because in the leak, it doesn't show them hitting an enemy, so I don't know what actually is happening. I'm sure more videos will come eventually. So in my comment in my Discord, I just said, Shenhe's ultimate, her burst, looks like a combination of Mona's burst as well, where she has a pool of water, Mona's, on the bottom, whereas in her case it's gonna be ice. And then like there's like then Chun Chun said that like it reminds him of like Keqing, because like Keqing has that electro shadow of hers, right? And then so yeah, it has a cryo spirit kind of thing. I get that, but then like I don't know, because she's not zipping around obviously. And then it just has like cryo tick damage is what I see. So, and it kind of reminds me of like swirling from like Kazuha, but like lighter. I don't know. I don't know what to think of it right now still. Definitely I'm excited for Shenhe though, but that's like a whole patch away. But I don't know what to think of it. Like, I'm sure she's gonna be a DPS style then. Yeah. And then Yunjin, clearly she has a shield aspect to her, and then so and then they say that she's scaling off of HP. Yeah, I don't know. And that she's similar to like Toma with her Q, I think. She has some extra like tick damage that comes out with her attacks or something. I don't know. It's too early to know. Exactly. Once we see the multipliers, we'll need to see more information, and I do need to see them in actual like action, like against like enemies. Of course, in beta, the enemies always like have weird numbers when they're taking the damage. The damage numbers aren't real. But regardless, I need to see what's happening though. You know, when they're hitting them. Because obviously in that demonstration, it was just them walking around doing their poses, obviously idle expressions, and then like their normal attack, charge attack, different you know attacks basically. But totally, she reminds me of her character model. It looks exactly like Raiden Shogun. Raiden Shogun's bangs right now are swept um in this way on this screen, but then on the in Shenhe it's just swept the other way, her bangs, and then she has a long braid just like that too, basically. And obviously the long legs. So it's basically just a cryo Raiden Shogun model. Alrighty. Oh, I don't have enough. Haha. Then that's that then. That's okay. This will be like a work in progress. It's fine. So I'll do what you're doing as well. I'll get him to only 699. So my goal will be to get this up there by later this week, possibly by Sunday, and then that'll just be a little work in progress. Because I was saying that I'm running out of characters to like that I'm interested in to do talents for. Obviously, I'm not gonna do them all, but of the ones that I was planning to do I already did them. So now Albedo is the next one, and after he's done, then I have to find another one that I'm willing to, you know, grind stuff for. Yeah. Oops. Shenhe instantly bearing Ito's hype. Yes, exactly. Totally. And Ito doesn't benefit from the fact that he's a Geo character, despite MiHoYo's attempts now to make me, you know, Geo and defense a thing. Um, yeah. I mean, because I think this is why I think MiHoYo already got a response from people that people were probably half gonna skip Ito anyway, despite the fact that he's cool and strong probably, but people are probably on the fence already. Because like again, people that have been playing this game, including all of us, for a long time now, we're not stupid. We're not gonna fall for anything now. Like we're not just gonna be blindly like giving them our money to buy every single character that comes now. At this point, I think the game has matured to a level where veteran players like us are questioning a lot of things now. And also the way that they treat the community also makes us more suspicious because it's like, well, why do we have to keep fueling your money? Like, what's the point? Like, sorry, why do we have to keep giving you money? Like, you're not really giving us anything, you know? Um, so there's that aspect to it too. At least that's how I think about it. Not to say that I'm being salty. I still love the game, but like, I just feel, I just question it, you know? Like, it's like, why am I blindly giving you money when you're not really giving us much, you know? So, yeah. What is that? Is that this? Oh no. Okay, whatever. Hi Chun Chun, how are you? Yeah, I came on a little earlier today. I didn't announce it in the live stream because it seemed like you guys were all offline anyway, so I don't want to like disturb you guys because I'm just being considerate. I don't want to like have like, notifications pop up, you know? So then I didn't bother. So and plus, remember yesterday I came on a little earlier too, and there wasn't anybody. So then I'm like, okay, well, whatever then, you know? So yeah, all good. The bow Goro has in his trailer is different. So do you think that they're gonna release a special bow for him afterward?
要带上我吗？
艾洛伊，加，行动计划敲定了吗？
Okay, I don't think it's gonna reset yet because it's too early right now. For me. For my, like, ores. But it's okay, I have enough already from yesterday. I'll check a few more sites. If there's nothing, then we'll just chat then. Like a 3-star bow? Okay, possibly. Yeah.
结束。
此乃天道。呵，拒收并蓄。
焚化。
Yeah, no ores yet. Okay, fine, whatever. Yeah, and then the server hasn't reset yet, so there isn't much to do. You're gonna switch your Kazuha back to EM build? Okay, that's fine. I mean, might as well try it out, right? I don't personally like the EM builds for any other characters, except for Sucrose, so I don't do it, but I definitely know that it is comparably strong for animal characters, though. So, plus then if I did that, I would have to then rebuild artifacts. I'm being lazy. Or I have to maybe farm for artifacts I don't even have yet. So, yeah. I was watching this guy, this Japanese artist. Um, well, obviously the video is in it's on YouTube. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's quite popular though. It was his he doesn't play the game Genshin, but he was told like a few things about some characters, and also the voice actors and actresses from Japan. They would voice act or give him like a few quotes or lines from the game in Japanese, of course, and just tell him some characteristics of describing the character, and then he would have to freelance kind of like draw those characters. So in the video that I watched, at least, he was doing Inazuma characters. So he did Kazuha. He did, who else did he do? He did Raiden Shogun, and he did Goro. And I must say, like, just based on his interpretation of, because he never played the game, so and he doesn't watch the trailers. So his interpretation of what the voice actors have told him, or what people tweeted to him, just based on like description alone, it's actually pretty interesting. Like some things are very close, obviously. So, yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. Oh, good. You've also seen them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I know he did a series of them because he did two other ones before, I think, right? So I didn't watch them all, obviously, but I did that one. Yeah. Yeah. It was interesting. His Goro looks pretty much, and his Kazuha looks pretty much the same. Yeah. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but Kazuha's pants, like his samurai pants here, is completely different than, or looks different than his splash art. In the splash art, his pants looks more full, like more voluminous. Here, it's just more like pants. So, like shorts, kind of. Because I remember this because he was commenting specifically about Kazuha's pants, saying because he designed Kazuha his interpretation. His Kazuha's pants is like this too. It's like very tight, or not tight, but like more slim and not voluminous. And then he was saying like, oh, but then like the official one is so like full on the bottom. So yeah. But also in the official one, Kazuha has a scarf that like flies up behind his neck, which here he doesn't obviously. So I don't know. Yeah. And then he totally did not understand the whole idea of like Raiden Shogun where she has a sword coming out of her boobs. I thought that was funny. He's like, what? And then he's like, okay, and then he did it. But then like he's like, okay, and then yeah. But he was pretty close with the Raiden Shogun too. He also gave her like a short kimono. Of course he used like purple and red instead because he wasn't sure, right? But anyway, yeah. And then like he made it like he still made her like it's pretty similar, yeah. And he gave her like a giant like headpiece thing that looks like a lightning bolt, which is kind of neat too. And then his Goro is very typical because Goro is one of those more typical characters. But his Goro, he made his Goro's feet like a dog's foot, right? Well, obviously the Goro that we will get has human feet, so yeah, that's fine. Yeah, exactly. The splash arts are not exactly the same, right? Because I'm looking at him too. He looks good here too, but he looks like honestly, he looks like a teenage or a young kid samurai. Whereas in the splash art, he looks more like a grown up with a full kimono. Yeah. Because look, even his sleeve is like a t-shirt sleeve on this side at least. Because I understand a little bit of Japanese, so he kept saying like how this like opai, which is like boobs, and then he kept saying because the subtitle didn't say that in the beginning, and then afterward it said, I'm like, okay, so he's like, what? And then anyway, I was like listening to that, and then yeah, it was interesting. Oh, I know what I can do. I can go and collect some artifacts, I guess, because there's nothing else to do. Exactly, the hair, yeah. And then speaking of hair, people said that Albedo's hair was nicer in his splash art and his demos than in game, because in game his hair looks stiff and not like as long and like wavy. Oh miHoYo, them and their scams. Always tricking people. You're thinking of pulling for Albedo now? Oh, nice. Good luck. Keep us posted. I will say yes. With the Cinnabar spindle that we will be getting, he is more viable and more accessible to more people. However, in a way, if you think about it, it is a scam too, because by getting the Cinnabar spindle, it makes you want to get him. That's part of their whole point, isn't it? Right? Remember, he wasn't that popular when he first came out last year, or earlier this year, because that weapon, Cinnabar spindle, is only useful for him.
该出发了。
How would he really? Oh, okay. Oh, he would be really good with Zhongli, Hu Tao, and Xingqiu as a team. He would definitely help Zhongli for sure, and technically moving forward, he'll help any other Geo character now. Because they're doing the Geo meta, right? So yeah, totally.
踏风。该出发了。
You won't pull for... Okay, there you go. Well, I'm glad you reached another decision within a few minutes. Shenhe looks like a support, so it's better to save for her. True, I'm not sure if she's a full DPS or not yet at this point. So, yeah, totally. We need to see more. Yeah. Okay. What did the other... Oh.
该出发了。起。
I do like Yunjin's little animation though, because she has those flags that are behind her. It's very Chinese opera, because she's obviously a Chinese opera actress. But yeah, I do like that. And then in a way, I do like Ito's alt stance. His pose is a kabuki theater, kabuki opera stance, which I also like. It's cool.
该出发了。
And I'm glad that they clarified the whole Shenhe thing. Remember back then, the early leaks way back like months ago, they're like Shenhe is like the human form of like Cloud Retainer, which now it's clear that she's not. She's just the disciple of Cloud Retainer. But then those fan arts, I must say, were pretty close. But I will say maybe the fan arts had some early access leaks, maybe that's why. But then the splash art and the fan art had a Cloud Retainer in the back. So I don't know if in the end the real splash art will be like that too. We don't know. But the fan art was pretty close. Yep, it's all good. Agreed. Yep, they clarified it, and yes, the sound that comes after for Yunjin is cute. Yes, Yunjin is a cute character because she's not technically a chibi character, but she's like I guess a young woman, but she's not really like a woman. Like she's not grown up yet, so it's very interesting. And for some reason, most of the storyline always revolves around Cloud Retainer more than the others. How come we don't ever get to like interact with the other like Adepti anymore? Like even that other like didn't we have something recently with that little cooking thing for the anniversary event, the moon chase, right? Where we had to like help her like cook those magical like pots or whatever, right? Like it's always Cloud Retainer that's asking us to do things in the storylines. How come the other like Etetais that we met in the Archon quest don't ever ask us to do stuff? But in a way, doesn't this open up the I guess the potential for those other characters to now have disciples too, right? Kind of like Shangling, yeah, exactly, and kind of like Barbara, but yeah, exactly. But again, this is another topic that we also talked about yesterday, kind of, right? Like, if you think about it, Shenhe is like a 5-star version of a 4-star Rosaria. Now, I'm not comparing them, again, we're not comparing them based on damage or whatever. We're comparing them based on the element and the weapon. So basically, yes, they are basically doing exactly the same thing as what they did with Kokomi and Barbara, Yoimiya, and Amber. They're basically doing that now. I don't know if it's because they ran out of ideas or they're just trying to fill up that space to make sure that there's always a 4-star and a 5-star equivalent in terms of weapon type and element, so that they make sure that that's how they're, you know, increasing their roster of characters. But then the weird part was with Kujo, Sara, and Fischl, they in that way they repeated them because they're both 4-star Electro archers. So I don't know. And then, of course, Ito is the 5-star version of 4-star Noelle. Like, we're just, again, based on weapon type and, all that only. And then Sayu is like in a way, she's like a mini Jean, although their weapon type is not the same. But, and technically it could be argued, and I kind of brought this up way before too, in one of my earliest videos, was that Raiden Shogun's E is basically like replacing Oz, right? Because, from Fischl, right? Because it's the same idea, really. More or less. So, I don't know. This has just been an interesting topic that I've just been thinking about like all the time, because every time I see them release something and it's similar to something that's already in the game, then it's like, okay. But then also this all adds more to the fact that like, then do we need to fall for it? There's that too now. That's my cautious money saving side speaking. Yeah. And then with Klee was the other example where they did the reverse. Because Klee was too early, I guess, and then her rerun was later, right? But like they released Yanfei, which is a 4-star version of a 5-star character. So it can go both ways. And so that's why the debate is Yaimiko just going to be a 5-star Lisa? Hopefully not, you know? And technically, as we have Kazuha on the screen, he already kind of replaced, in a way, parts of Sucrose, parts of Venti, parts of, Xiao, right? But then, can't really say that exactly, but technically, yeah. And again, I'm all for these kind of hybrid characters instead, because I would rather a character replace other characters completely than just being a 5-star upgrade of one, or a 4-star downgrade of one, Yeah. Looks like she will have 2 elements, Pyro and Electro. Oh, that's interesting. That'd be cool. I would love to see it where they do what happened in the Archon quest, where it is possible for vision holders to activate 2 visions, even if it's just briefly. Like pretend that there's a time limit on it, like how obviously Kazuha was able to activate his dead friends, Electro was it? Yeah, briefly, right? That'd be kind of cool. And then we have the whole thing that we're all anticipating, of course, the illusions eventually. We don't know yet, right? But then that'd be kind of cool if we can get access to the illusions in the future. And then everyone's also speculating that eventually they're gonna rerun like Zhongli and Venti soon. Which makes sense too. So again, we were talking about this yesterday too. It may not be guaranteed that it's going to be Ganyu and Xiao for 2.4 in the rerun banners. It may be one of those instead, because they don't want to make Ganyu and Xiao compete against each other because they're both very popular. So I don't know. Whereas right now, Albedo is because he's a storyline, but he's not as popular as Eula, right? So obviously, most people would have probably, if they had to pick one of the two, they were going to pick Eula, I think. Even though, like, there's an Albedo event. Because by doing it that way, you are competing with your own other characters.
顺着风的方向。
How long disappeared? Whatever. Ain't in there yet. That would be cool. Please not this soon. Xiao and Zhongli. Yeah. Some people are saying that it could be Xiao and Zhongli, not because Zhongli's not popular, but because he already had a rerun. So then, the player base that doesn't have him is lower, right? So then that's one way to not compete and compete with your own sales, because some players will only pick one of the 2 characters, not both, right? Especially like, I mean, yes, there are whales and dolphins out there, but that's not the majority of players, right? The majority of players are like, I would think it's free to play and low spenders. Therefore, they're probably only going to pick one of the 2 banners available, not both, right? From a marketing perspective, right? So then they can't compete against their own, because then they're just ruining their own sales. Whereas if they space it out, then they can get money like maybe more than once, right? Oh, I didn't know that these guys were attacking me.
往返自然，唱。
I mean, that's fine. If Zhongli comes back or Venti comes back, it's perfect, because I wouldn't pull for them anyways. So that's fine. I think for Ganyu, I might pull for her C1 only, but that's it. Yeah. Because I don't have any constellations on my Ganyu. And then if Xiao comes, I wouldn't pull for him at all, so that's fine. Yeah. In a way, I do kind of like, and I talked about this in other videos too, but I do kind of like rerun and filler content, because it means that we don't have to spend. For those of us who already did a little stint of spending, then in a way, I don't know if I can say I'm lucky that I spent already. I don't know if that's really lucky, but because then it makes me not want to spend again for the same characters as the reruns, right? Aside from the ones that I really liked, which was only Child and Hu Tao recently, where I was willing to go up to C3 for them. But other characters, no, I wouldn't. Even Eula, I'm skipping as I've said now. So, like,
御风而行。
yeah. But yes, if Kazuha comes back, I would definitely pull him up to C2 because I don't have any on him. Yeah, that's fine. And then if Ayaka comes, I'm actually not sure. Because obviously the order would be after that would be yeah, Kazuha, then Ayaka, then Yoimiya. If we're going in the order of debut, then really I don't know if I want to pull any for her. We'll see. Yoimiya definitely doesn't need any, so that's fine. And then yeah, after Yoimiya would be Raiden Shogun again, and then I wouldn't pull for her again. I already have her up to C3, so we're good. So then like, and then yes, then after Raiden Shogun, then it's back to Ito then, right? There were no other 5 stars that were new.
差不多，该出发了。
But of course, they can always throw in earlier reruns to rerun them a second time, right? There's always that option too. So let's not forget that they can do that. Obviously, we make it sound like, oh yeah, they're gonna just put them in order and just ideally like rerun them in the order that we expect them to. No, they might just again because of competition reasons, they're probably gonna throw in uns from previous that people already pulled for or don't already skipped. Oh wait, after Raiden Shogun, it's going to be Kokomi. Yeah, that's an easy skip. And then it's Ito. Because that was the order, I think. Yeah. Oh, bye, Yadika. Sorry, I didn't see that. If I don't like to spend, just don't spend. Well, I mean, I was okay spending, like I said. I'm just saying that I've resumed back my low spending way now. Yeah, same boat as me. Yes, LD understands. Yes, LD probably did his dolphin little stint, and now he's back to not wanting to dolphin as much anymore. Yeah, I totally get ya. Ayaka and my favorite Kokomi. There you go. Yes. There we go.
做了后朔风起义，
Actually, I might want to pull for Ayaka's, was it her C1 or her C2? The one that adds the 2 extra little frost flakes? I might be willing to, but we'll see if we're still using her by then, right? There's that too. Because you know how they're going to change out the Abyss. Right now I'm still using her because, obviously, I need her to freeze the damn Sentinel things, right? With Child. But then, like, if they change the Abyss out and, you know, that's no longer a thing that's needed, then maybe we don't need it. It's not because those extra frost flakes are going to have extra damage, it's because they have extra radius. It increases her, you know, her frost, basically, you know? So that then you can possibly freeze more of them or hit them, because it's only like 20% of her damage. But that's the only reason for utility purposes if we're trying to freeze stuff that's trying to get out of the way, yeah. Yeah, I think it's C2. I don't think it was one of the later ones. I think it was one of the earlier ones. So it was quite accessible, yeah.
该出发了。
We'll see. If one day I can get my Kazuha to C6, not that I would, but if I could, I would love to get him like a really awesome sword. And the whole Freedom Sworn thing, I still think that they're going to replace that sword when Kazuha has a rerun. I think that they're totally going to give him a new weapon that's actually a katana. Because again, the whole Freedom Sword was just, in my opinion, a mistake. I don't know why they released that sword the way that they did, because that sword does not match him, color scheme, and also origin-wise, it's a Mondstadt sword. And it's a Western-looking sword, so yeah. Okay, those are done. Haven't done these like artifact runs in a long time. I should notify that I'm streaming right now. Oh, why? Are there people online on Discord? But you guys are already here. Okay, hang on. Let me land him before he drops it down to like die. fine. I will do that now. Give me a sec. I will copy the link. Pop over to the Discord. Okay. Well, now I'm gonna actually change my thumbnail as well, since I have nothing else to like, because it hasn't reset yet. Okay, give me a sec. I'm gonna change my thumbnail because it actually says November 24th on it, which it was, because I actually thought that because I didn't know if anyone of you guys were actually gonna come on, right, because it's earlier. So so then that's what yeah. Anyway, but now it's midnight here, so it's November 25th. So I'm gonna change the date. Anyway, today I went to the office and it was great. We had lots of meetings with clients and marketing meetings, etc. And then like I thought tomorrow I could work from home, even though we have meetings, of course. We you know, but no, my boss told us to come in tomorrow, so I will go in tomorrow too. So it's fine. I'm not against it. I'm fine with that. But I was hoping to like stay home, but that's okay.
既然手边有树叶，我可以为你吹奏一曲。
Okay, and it's saving the thumbnail now. So now it will change the date to 25th. I just had to replace the date. Because it bases it on when the stream is completed, not when the stream is started. Okay, perfect. Alrighty, so yes. Notified and thumbnail updated. And then back to the whole iPad thing. iPads are expensive now. Well, they've always been expensive, I guess. Apple products are kind of a ripoff, to be honest. But yeah, because they you know you have to replace them every few years. That's the problem with them. I'm intrigued because I use it for work, but otherwise I didn't have an iPad for the longest time, and I was okay without it and didn't care. But now that I'm using it again for work, I actually kind of like using the pencil, and I kind of like it because I can write my notes there, and I kind of like it. And yeah, and then I was looking at people's reviews of the new iPad Mini or the current generation iPad Mini, and it's actually quite small and thin and light, and it allows for use of the pencil too, because they have an old pencil and they have a new one. The new one's better because it has the magnetic charging, the like the basically yeah, where you just put it on the side of the iPad and it will charge. So I think that's kind of cool. And obviously the other thing is that it can handle Genshin Impact or any other like higher requirement game, let's say. And I was saying earlier, like I saw people like you can connect your PS5 and or your PS4 controllers, game controllers to iPad. I'm like, oh, that's so cool because then you don't have to buy a separate like accessory. I'm thinking ahead though, because once the gates of travel are more available, let's say, I am definitely traveling, and well, I gotta spend my like money. But anyway, I need to go and like have fun. But then like I need to go and then like when I travel, I won't be able to bring my PS5 with me, obviously, to play this game or to do any stream of any game. So then if I at least bring the iPad, then I can at least play. But I have to figure out how do I do the stream in that case then too. But yeah, well, I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Right now, there's no plan to do any travel anytime soon, so it's fine. Plus, having like mobile games or ability to portably is like obviously convenient too. Because we're traveling like on the plane, on any transportation or train or anything like that, like it can be boring, right? So then like yeah, and then yeah, anyway. or if you're waiting at the airport or whatever, like, you know, those kind of times, right? Then having something portable to play and kill time with is fun. And like, I guess the iPad is also multifunctional because you can technically like load other programs on there, obviously, but you can also load like maybe some media, like TV shows or whatever on there, and maybe books, right? You know, like Kindle or Kobo books. Yeah.
固若金汤。
So yeah, ebooks. So anyway. An old A10 Samsung tablet. I can't play Yeah, exactly. I have an old. I have. Well, not. I don't. I think I still have it in somewhere. But anyway, I don't use it anymore. I have an iPad 2. 2. Yes, 2.
又
I
一个
think you
血
repeat
安如磐石，
朔风起义，对象选错了。
But you know what? Just because our current model can play Genshin now, but you know how they keep updating every 6 weeks? Eventually, no matter what model of iPad you have, it may not be able to handle them anymore.
又一个实验对象，
安如磐石，
御风而行。可叹落叶飘零。
And they're not cheap, by the way. I want to point out, because I looked at the pricing, so I'm just, obviously I can only go by my Canadian pricing, but anyway, for the regular size iPad, which is the one that we use for work, it is the cheapest option apparently. It is like, let's just say base price is like around $500, before taxes, before you add the pencil. The pencil itself is like 200 something. In a way it's a ripoff. And then, yeah, anyway, and then I think that the mini actually ends up being a little more expensive. I think the mini is like 600 or 650 or something like that. I don't know. Like it's for some reason the mini is more expensive because I think the mini is a newer model or a newer processor or something like that. I don't know. I don't follow Apple stuff, so I don't really know. But anyway, but yeah, the regular sized one is cheaper than the mini one. And the regular size one is a pretty good size. It's not like so huge, but I mean for travel the mini one is better, obviously. But for work, technically the regular size is better. The mini one, I saw some students reviewing it and like university students, and they said it's pretty good for taking notes and like, you know, all that stuff. But then like I'm like, well, I'm not a student, so I don't really care about that. But then it just seems like the smaller one obviously is more compact and yeah, better for travel. Your phone runs Genshin very smoothly. It is new, but still I think it would be able to handle Genshin for like 2 years or more before and I would buy a gaming PC or a laptop. Okay. Well, it's good to be optimistic. We don't know what's gonna happen in 2 years, right? Maybe you won't be playing Genshin anymore. Wait, right? So then like, it doesn't really matter if it can run it or not. And I do have a Nintendo Switch, so technically when I travel I can bring that too. Wait, did I get everything? There was... Yes, it was only those things. I don't care about that stuff. Okay. Yeah. It runs smoothly? That's good. Yeah. But yes, they're expensive because for me, I would like to buy the pencil, obviously, but the pencil makes it really expensive then. Because the pencil alone is 200. Oh, and mind you, you still have to buy a case if you're into that, and like a screen protector. When you add all that up together, the whole thing becomes like 1,000 or more already. And then there's taxes on top of everything. Right? So then like yeah, I know in Asia there may not be a tax issue because I know when I was in Asia, I love the fact that they don't have tax when you buy stuff. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is for those of us who buy stuff that has tax on it, it just adds to the price. Yes, the student discount. It's yeah, and then yeah, the iPad with pencil and AirPods for free. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, students get really good discounts. I still have my old student number, and I think online, when you order online, they don't check. So you can just type it in, and it should still work. And Apple is like one of those. They're basically how their model is that they do it like how the luxury brands do it, like luxury fashion brands. They don't offer much discounts, if any. So even though it's Black Friday coming up, they're not going to offer any discounts. So that's just how they are. And the other annoying part is they change their plugs every few years. That's annoying too, you know? Like the charging plugs and the wires. Yeah. Only the pencil and the AirPods were free. That's still pretty good because the AirPods alone is like $200 or $300 here, and the pencil again is $200 here. So that is obviously it's not worth. Let's be honest, those things are not worth that much. Like those things are just made like in some sweatshop in China, okay, or somewhere, right? You know, so they're not like made like they're not like they're good quality, yes, but they're not like you know what I mean. They're not worth that actual price. And I'm not saying that in a condescending way. Like I'm just saying the point is sweatshops. Obviously the labor is cheaper, but the quality is still good though, because obviously in order to maintain having a contract with a big brand, they have to maintain the quality. So, but I just feel bad for the people if they have low pay. Yeah, I don't know. So for Christmas, what are you guys expecting to get, or what are you guys hoping to get? Or you guys don't care for that stuff? Because I already told you guys the other day I don't really care for it either. So if I want something, I'll just buy it myself. I don't need to hope. I'll just buy it. So. But I know some people do care about that, and they do ask people for it. One of my colleagues, she said that one of her daughters, told her that she wants to get a kitten, like a cat. And I'm like, okay, like that is what it is, you know. So you know, and obviously my other friends who have kids, like younger kids, they want it like obviously games, toys, like, etc. That's totally normal, like you know, for people to have those wish lists. So that's why I'm asking if you guys have a wish list, or if you're just gonna buy whatever for yourself to treat yourself for Christmas. Depression. Well, LD should be able to buy his own gifts because he's an adult. Whatever he wants, he'll just buy it, I'm sure. Even before Christmas, I'm sure.
顺着风的方向。
But maybe, you know, Chun Chun might have something that he wants? No? Yes? You'll be buying your friends and family gifts for this Christmas. I'm not expecting much in return, though. The new event gives Albedo's sword first? Oh, okay. That's good. Obviously, like, R1, right? Yeah. Well, that's nice of you, LD. It's still good to buy people's gifts, yes, of course. It's always nice, like, the giving spirit is also part of it, too. I think what I'll do is I'll just donate, to some charity. People around me don't need me to buy them gifts. They can buy their own. That's how I feel. And I don't think our office is doing any kind of like gift exchange or anything like that. I mean, they haven't proposed it yet. They might. I don't know. If they do, then we could. But if they don't, then I don't really care. Otherwise. Oh wait, there's actually more stuff over there. Oh, there's a Mirror Maiden again. The annoying people. Oh wait, yeah, it's like a weapon here, and then a weapon over here. You'd like to buy some AirPods or any good Bluetooth earphone? Oh, that's good. Oh yeah, it's live probably in Asia already. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so anyway, I'm probably just gonna donate to charity before the year ends. Just donate more. I do like monthly giving, and I also do one-time ones as well. So this will just be a one-time one again, and I feel very grateful and blessed, obviously, because I got a new job this year, which was unexpected. And also I've made, well, I continue, I make stock money anyway every year, regardless. But like, it was just it's more recently, so it's good. It's been a great November and October.
我听到了。
So it's always good to give back. You broke your new badminton racket already? What? How hard do you play? Or are you getting mad and you're throwing it and like hitting it, like throwing it on, smashing it on the floor? You just bought it the other day. No, wait, there is stuff down here, isn't it? Yes, no? Oh, here. Oh. Right, and then there's the, Tanuki here. Yes. Ah, no more. That means I got the maximum. So all the discovery points, well, I think the discovery points maximum is not reached yet. There's still discovery points here, but there are no more artifacts. And I think I can prove this if I go to Rito, because Rito has one right here, and if it doesn't show up, then that means that I've reached the max for the day. Yep, it didn't show up. Okay, then I reached the max for artifacts, but not for discovery points. Yeah, okay. Good. So then I can stop exploring that then. Yeah, because these ones have like artifacts here too, I remember. No, I never get raged. Okay. I don't know, I started to put a lot of power in my shots. Nice. Okay. Well, are you a pro? Are you going to turn into a pro badminton player? Because I can see pro players being the ones that, cycle through their equipment really fast. I'm curious. I mean, I have, like, gems. I could save them all, or should I just blow them? I mean, it's not like I'm gonna get much anyway, it's only 870. Maybe I should just save them all for, like, Ito's banner. Yeah, okay. So now what am I gonna do? Because now even artifacts are. Oh, I guess that was good because then there's only 7 minutes left on here. So like even artifacts are done now. Let's see. Yeah, I have enough. These two combined is enough for now, even if I didn't farm any more of them. I wouldn't say like the best, but I would say I'm pretty good. Okay. Well, good for you then. So I don't know how it works like in terms of that. Is there a chance for you to get scouted into like some kind of team maybe that will pay? I know it's like for example in US they value like baseball and football, like American football, and lots of young people, teenagers and college students or university students, they like to be scouted for their teams because then they can make a salary from playing and also they pay for their tuition. I don't know how it works for badminton though. And then in Canada, it's the same for hockey, ice hockey. And then yeah, I'm sure in Europe it's probably like for like actual like soccer or football. Yeah, and probably like in Australia it's like rugby or something, right? Those are like the national sports that they'll like actively recruit people for and pay them a salary if they're good or something, and maybe sponsor them and pay for their tuition, something like that. Yeah. Ah, exactly, yeah. Because rugby is quite popular, I think, in Asia too, or getting popular. Like the rugby sevens was very popular when I was living in Hong Kong that year. The rugby sevens was a big thing. But Hong Kong also loves like European like soccer as well, like for World Cup and stuff. Whereas World Cup and stuff is not popular in North America, but South America loves it too. I know. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Well, it's exercise as well. So good for you. Yeah, it's exercise as well. And yeah, you're right. When you do something that as a job, you may not actually like it as much, and that's the reality. Um, Even like you guys said this to me before too. Like, I mean, obviously I like doing my YouTube right now. It's fun. But then like if I had to do it like a job, I may not like it as much. But then I'm just saying that, right? Because I'm still willing to do it. But then like, there are some YouTubers who quit because of that. Anything, and they say the reason. They said that because it became not fun anymore. It became like they had to feel like they were obligated to do something. I don't feel that with this. I still feel like obviously fun doing it, and even if I'm just doing like videos that aren't popular at all, that's fine. At least I still enjoy the process of doing it. But the issue is I'm running out of things to talk about. And like most streamers, right? That's the problem, right? We're running out of things because the game doesn't have anything new to talk about. Now, of course, with the new Albedo event that will happen on my server tomorrow, I will obviously stream playing it, so that's fine. But in between like those little events as I'm mentioning recently, like like double ley lines and like the flower thing, like no one cares if we do those. Like obviously we can do them on these kind of live streams and we're just game playing and just doing whatever. But I mean like if I was to do them as a guide, no one's gonna care, right? So then like I wouldn't. That's why I wouldn't do that either. So because the game doesn't have enough content to like make content with, and then that's why we can like random stuff about it, but then that's fine. But then I think that only works if you're a really big channel, but I'll still make random stuff. I was thinking about like a video the other day. I'll probably do it maybe like soon. um you know how I did the marry, date and kill one, and how I redid it, right? Okay, so then like I aside from doing another one yet because it's too early to redo it and or to do an updated one, I'm just gonna think about like ways to kill the characters. I think that may be fun. Like I would think of it in a very meta way. Like, oh, if I met this character in real life, how would I kill them? Something like that. I don't know. It's dark, but whatever. I mean, at this point, there's nothing that really can go wrong, in my opinion, because A, I'm not getting paid to do this, and B, there is nothing to talk about in the game otherwise. Yeah, I think it's time to, like, do stuff that's unexpected. Like, I don't know, whatever. I mean, come on, I work in marketing, so I need to be more creative, and this is a good way to, like, stretch my brain a little bit too. I can go off on these tangents, I think, and just do it. Yeah, maybe I should do a video. Well, it would just be me talking. Obviously, I'm not gonna, like, do any actual animation of it, but it would just be me talking. Probably would kill the characters. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. Well, if I made Raiden Shogun cook, she'll just kill other people with her food because she'll just poison them. No, we need to find a way to kill her. Remember, she's immortal, and so is Zhongli and Venti. We can do it as a collaborative video too. It doesn't have to be one where I pre-record it like last time for the other one where I did it through OBS. I could just do one of these and then just ask you guys to, like, tell me how you want them to die. And then we can just vote on how we would, I don't know, or whatever, I don't know. We can just figure out ways to kill them. It's actually really easy for a lot of them. I already know how to kill them. You already know. It's pretty easy. A lot of the characters reveal their weakness to us in the storyline. We already know. It's actually very easy to kill them. Yeah, and then, like, I don't know, and then we can do, like, videos, or I don't know, or just random stuff about, like, if you could get them to, like, couple up, who would you couple up and why? Like, it could be anything, right? I don't know. Yeah, who would? Okay, that's cute. Just as a little preview, let's say. I don't know. I didn't think much about it, but like, if I could get these characters, because there's not enough men in the game right now, males, to couple up with every girl in the game. So eventually there will have to be some same-sex couples, and that's fine. Nothing against that, but and there could be same-sex male couples too. That's fine, because I know, like, a lot of the fan arts, they put, like, they put Xingqiu and Chongyun together, right? They put Albedo and Zhongli together, Zhongli and Child together, right? I already talked about the Eula and Amber thing, right? Eventually there will have to be this situation where they might just end up, being same sex, and that's okay too. That's true. We would mix the poison into the drinks, have Diona make the drinks, make them delicious. Everyone drinks them and then they can all die together. That'd be like a mass suicide, mass killing of the characters. That would be interesting. Yeah, like, who would our favorite couples be then? Haha. I don't know. We'll have to think of random stuff to talk about, because otherwise there's nothing else to talk about, really. But yes, the new event is here, so that's definitely something to talk about. Yes, it's worth it. And then obviously, when Ito comes, there's gonna be stuff to talk about for him too. Yes, of course. But then, like, in between, because it's just rerun and filler otherwise, in between of the Albedo event, we can talk about random stuff. Hmm. Yeah, interesting. I'm just looking at the characters and just thinking of ideas right now. I actually really want them to bring out because there are some characters that I want more storyline for. Obviously, many of them do. I want to see the other Yaksha, the one that survived. Remember his in Xiao's storyline? One of them escaped or something into the wild or something like that, right? And went crazy. I want that one to come back and become some kind of boss or become a playable character. Whichever one that was. And like Raiden Shogun, her nightmare teaser storyline, like of the three friends that she had, one of them she chopped off their arm and they ran into the forest, right? Something like that, right? I don't know. Maybe they're not actually dead. That'd be cool if they come back as a one-handed like villain. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it would just be interesting. Hmm.
欲买桂花同载酒，只可惜故人何日再见呢？
It would be interesting. Hmm. Yeah, they could have a mecha arm, sure. Or a demon arm. A demon arm sounds more realistic, right? They go into the forest and then they like, you know, combine with animals or some kind of demon that they met, you know? That would be cool. Or they find some kind of magical evil weapon that makes them more evil and more powerful or something and makes them transform. You know, very typical anime storyline, yeah, that kind of stuff. Or some kind of magical jewel or something that makes them like, you know, whatever, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Things to think about, things to think about. Okay, my expedition is ready. Good. But imagine that their arm just shoots bombs and laser beams. That'd be cool. That's very anime of you. Or imagine that their arm like shoots out like poison or like shoots out like I don't know, like snakes or something or like vines or something, like something really like creepy, right? I don't know. Or like I don't know. Because in those Asian mythologies and those folklores, there's always these demons or spirits that shoot out hair, right, to kill people, right? You know, to use the hair to like cut people up or something, right? Or yeah, that'd be kind of crazy.
向着星辰与深渊。
There we go. They can harness the arm and harness the power of 100 visions. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I think that they really need to step the story up a lot. Like, we can't just be sitting around waiting for, like, official Archon quest, because clearly there's not going to be another one until we go to another region, because at the end of the last Archon quest, Yamiko's like, oh, blah, 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 go to Sumeru, right, you know? So that means that there's not going to be an actual Archon quest for a long time. It's just going to be these random event quests only, right, you know? So, which is fine too, I'll take it, but I need, like, real, serious story, and I need more commitment from MiHoYo. I need, like, more in-depth stuff happening. Like, even if, like, let's just pretend, okay, even if the rewards are shitty or whatever, right? But I need storyline to keep me going, because, like, we love the characters enough that we care, right, you know? So I want to see how the story progresses, right, you know? I also want to see, like, more from Dainsleif. I want to see more from, like, maybe like you know how like well in my case I'm using Ether as the main character, but like whatever. Like I want to see him cross paths with Lumine again, and maybe she'll tell him more like why she turned evil, so to speak, or what is her actual plan. You know, I want to see more of that stuff develop. It's fine to do like the little individual like character events where you kind of basically are just dating them, right? Like with Raiden, we just went around the street with her, and then like basically like a lot of them are just like that where you just end up dating them, right, and getting to know them a little bit better, right? You know, fine. But then like I want actual like meatier content that has like real substance instead. Right? You can do the dating stuff fine, but then I want actual like stuff that you have to like do for them or do with them. Yeah. But we all know that with MiHoYo moving at the glacial pace that they're moving, and with their plan to keep this game alive for 5 to 10 years, God, like I don't know how many players are actually gonna last that long in the community, and I don't know if it's even gonna be worth it to like wait that long for the storyline. But I will say what they're trying to do though is similar to Final Fantasy 14, which is the online one that's really successful. So what happened with that one, from what I don't play it, but what I recall is they released it and it was not successful. Then they patched it with a version like 1.1 type of thing, and it was not successful. and then they continue adding to it like 1.2, 1.3, like just I don't know what it's officially called, but they have names for them, right? And then like I think at some point they changed their director and they changed their direction and they overhauled the whole thing. And then I think 1.1 is when they overhauled it. Yeah. So from 1.1 they made it better, and then every iteration after that they made it better and better and better and better. But the original one 1.0 was crap. And then anyway they patched it all up now, so it's supposed to be better now. But even now when people say when you start Final Fantasy 14 brand new, 1.0 is super boring, but you need to get through it in order to get to the good stuff. So yeah, um, but then that game has been around for I don't know how many years now. Has it been 10 years already for Final Fantasy 14? It's been around for quite a while, probably 10 years. Yeah. So like, I think that's what Genshin Impact is trying to do. They're trying to create like a long-lasting game that they continue making money off of and keep building the story. But I don't know if this is that type of game. Yeah.
旅程总有一天会迎来终点，不必匆忙。
A Realm Reborn? Right, yes. Is that the first one? That's the original one, or is that the second one? I don't remember, but like I know the newest one is called Endwalker. It brings them to space. Because in every one of the trailers, it's actually really cool though, but in every one of the trailers, the main character, he goes to different countries, obviously, and he gains a new power, because obviously the Final Fantasy has a job class system, right? And at one point he goes to the Japanese country and he becomes a samurai. But then at the next trailer, well, obviously the next iteration, whenever it released, he loses the samurai power and transforms into something else. But I think in the very first one, he starts off as a knight, and then in the second one, he becomes like a dragoon, which is like a lance kind of knight with a dragon, I think, or something. Anyway, yeah, he keeps progressing, and then he becomes a samurai, and then he becomes, like whatever, right? And then so now it's called, the latest iteration is called Endwalker, and I think he becomes some kind of galactic knight or something. I don't know. Yeah. And then there was one where he became evil, and it was called Shadowbringers. Yeah, and he actually went to the darkness because in Final Fantasy the storyline is always that the main character is called the Hero of Light. But then I think in that twist was that he had to succumb to the darkness and become evil. And then but then because he became evil, apparently the things that he was killing in that country was like angels, and the angels were supposed to be self-righteous or something, but they ended up being the evil ones. So he had to use the power of darkness to kill them all. I don't know, that was a trailer. It was actually really interesting how they did their storyline. Yeah. Oh, A Realm Reborn is the second one. Yeah, that's the one that saved their franchise, because the first one was shit, and then I think that's what happened. Either the original director or producer of the first one got fired or resigned because it was so bad, and then they had to rehire a new one. Well, he's not new, but he's worked on other Final Fantasy projects or other Square Enix projects, and they brought him over, and they made him like redesign the whole thing and make it better. Yeah, so from A Realm Reborn onward, it became good. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. And then similar to like our game Genshin here, they introduce new job classes. So they don't introduce new characters. They introduce new job classes in every patch instead. So it's kind of neat. And then I think that you're allowed to like combine job classes. You can have one or two or more job classes and switch. Yeah. So, but that game is really long. So, and I feel that it would be really daunting for someone to start like now. If the game's been around for 10 years, it would be like really daunting to start now and then start from like 1.0 of that game and try to work your way through. Now, I know that I read online somewhere that they said that what they're doing to entice players and to attract new players is that you're allowed to play 1.1, oh, sorry, 1.0 and 1.1, which is the Realm Reborn, for free. It's even available on my PS5 actually in the PlayStation Store. It says it's free. They call it a free online trial. It's not a demo, but it's free. But it has some features are disabled, and then like, but that's fine. It's like, yeah, and then like, but you can still experience the story fully, and like majority of the stuff is fully explorable and doable. And then like you can play up to the end of 1.1, the Realm Reborn, and then from that point forward, if you want to continue, you have to pay. Yeah, which is actually a smart way of doing it. And then people said that they estimate that if you were to speed through 1.0 and 1.1, you can get it done within like maybe 80 hours, 60 to 80 hours if you were to speed through it. If you took your time, maybe it'll take like 100 hours. They said that's a pretty good deal. It's like 100 hours of free content for a pretty good game, they say. So I don't know. But that's a big commitment. Because that game is long. And their characters are obviously like level broken to the point where they're like level 99 would not be their highest level. I think that they're up to like maybe, I don't know, a couple hundred now. Like, you know, so yeah. That's a long grind, is all I'm going to say. But people said that, apparently people said that by far, Final Fantasy XIV has the best overall comprehensive storyline because they keep adding to it. Whereas all the other ones obviously are independent stories that end. Yeah. It's actually very fascinating. But then that game also, it's not a gacha game. So that game is not that their business model is not gacha. Their business model is monthly subscription. So you have to pay per month to play. Oh, is it the new event story? It looks very good. Ooh, I'm excited. I will say the original Dragon Spine Albedo event was actually quite interesting. It was. So for them to like take like almost a whole year before they continue his storyline is shocking, but I would hope that it's good, yes. Want you to spoil? What? Well, you can tell us. It's fine. I'll know tomorrow, but you can just tell us. Well, actually, no. Let's see if LD wants you to spoil too. All good. I'm just chilling. I'm waiting for the server to reset for me in a few minutes. Because otherwise I have nothing else to do right now. Well, anyway, I'm excited, of course. Okay, tell us. So Albedo's evil, right? Or he is trying or something and that's turning him evil? Cause he gets, remember in the trailer, he gets ice power. And then Eula's like, what did she say? She's like, what were you trying to do or something like that. And then it implies that it's something that happened, and yeah. Okay, well, as you guys know, I'm in the last server, time server. So then, like, you guys will already know tomorrow what happened. So for me tomorrow when I play, obviously after work, I may not be right after work, but anyway, sometime after work tomorrow, it'll be all new to me. So it'll be like completely like my reactions to it. I'll definitely stream it. I'm looking forward to it. Just waiting for the server to reset. And then, yeah, it'd be kind of cool. They're going to do the same thing, right? Where you do like a part of his event, and then they're going to gate it for like 3 days, and then you have to wait 3 days in order to get to the next part, probably, right? It's going to be like a multi-part event that's time gated in
为
between
流
each
通而造
part,
的
right?
船，遇到港口也会停泊。所
That
以，
seems to be their model
璃
now.
月是一切财富沉淀的地方。
And then the event store is like there's probably like 2 parts or 3 parts to the event store, and then like maybe part 1 is available tomorrow, and then like you can probably buy out most of it on day 1 already or day 2 maybe even, and then like they'll probably open up the second event store later. I'm assuming that's what they're doing. Yeah, it's clear that's their model of doing it now. Yeah.
接下来想去哪里？如果想游历璃月名胜的话，我有一些不错的参考方案。
So story side aside, the story part aside, is it actually like an event that actually has a lot of stuff for you to do, or is it one of those quick events where you can just get a lot of it done right away, and then there's not much to do, and you're waiting around for the next part?
玉麦桂花同载酒，只可惜故人。
Oh, reset, finally. But first let's dump stuff off to the blacksmith. Oh, it's the Join Me as Father challenge, okay. Oh, you haven't completed the story part yet? Okay, that's fine. Take your time. No rush. I mean, we'll eventually all find out eventually anyway, so it's fine. This is a cute one, but I thought, no, people tested it. They tried to find Yoimiya if there was like some kind of hidden achievement here, but there isn't, I think. Albedo is a something. Oh. Oh my god, I'm very excited. You know what's gonna happen tomorrow though while I'm at work? My Twitter is going to like blow up with like people basically spoiling the story already, so I already know by tomorrow. Not because people are tweeting me, but because I follow like Genshin Impact and related channels, so when people retweet within those channels or whatever from those channels, I'll see. Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it for sure. Defeat all opponents with this crappy team? Okay. Challenge accepted.
我们走吧。耶，看你啦！
All for the companionship.
真难缠。
哎呀 Okay.
看看这个，我来守护你。
深海的加护。哎，兔兔伯爵出击！嘿嘿，
干嘛的？小心着火！
打打住！
后援登场，看看这个，
休养生息。呀，哎，啊呀，呀呀，啊，翻涌吧。
火之盾，我来守护你。
Ugh.
干嘛的？
Albedo is really sussy. Ooh. But they can't reveal everything for you, like, on part 1, alright? And there must be some kind of twist or reason for it.
别担心。
Albedo was already suspicious in the Clee's Summer Adventure patch 1.6. Because he knows Alice and he was already people already suspected that he was already in on the whole thing, so well, we already knew he was suspicious. Remember, even during his actual event 1.2, he kept saying stuff, obviously not to the Traveler, but, you know, in general. Saying, like, oh, what if he was gonna, you know, destroy Mondstadt and all this other crap, right? You know? So, like, we know that he is very suspicious to begin with.
跟得上我吗？后援登场！深海的加护。 们走吧。
小心着火！我来守护你。
Yep. Oh, now you got me like so interested, but I don't want to spoil it. Then fine, I won't spoil it for myself. But I also want to play, but I can't because it's not available on my server. Okay, something to look forward to tomorrow after work. But I don't know if I can play right away either after work because I'm usually very tired if I have to go to the office and come back. Or when I come home, I usually fall asleep on the couch for a few hours, maybe an hour-ish, and then I can like get myself together to like make dinner or something. And then I have to watch the news and maybe look at some stocks and such, depending on the situation, and then like, yeah, plan some stuff. Or just have a moment to like not do anything, just sit there. I don't know if you guys have Amazon Prime where you guys are. I don't know if Amazon is even popular in Asia or Australia, but if you guys have Amazon Prime, by the way, and you may already know this, they have a Twitch Prime collaboration. You can get a free redemption code every month. So if you guys have it, then you can claim that free redemption code, and then you can claim it in the game of Genshin. Because I claimed it for the last few months. I think I only missed the first one because I didn't know that they had a promotion. Yeah. Because Amazon owns Twitch, and so they have and then they collaborate with Genshin, so they have an official redemption code giveaway. Well, not giveaway, redemption code collaboration. Let's say promotion every month. Yeah. Oh, you do? You just have to go to like Twitch Prime. It's called Twitch Prime. It within your Amazon Prime subscriptions area, I think. And then you can click on Genshin Impact, and then you can claim the code. And then you just type in your code in your game, and you get free bundles. For November, it's actually very interesting. November has 2 bundles. So right now we're in the second one. But I think because we're still in November, you can technically still claim the first half one as well, I think. And then December is just next week, basically, right? So December's gonna have its own bundle. But I'm not sure if it's Amazon Prime internationally or if it's just Amazon Prime in North America. I don't know. But I know that I'm getting it, so yeah. And they alternate. I think it's gems, like 60 gems, Primo gems, and then like Mora and Mystic Ore, and then maybe sometimes it's Fragile Resin, Mora, Mystic Ore, Heroes Wits, Recipe Food, something like that. It's like a small little redemption bundle every month. Just type in Google search, type in Twitch Prime Genshin or something like that. Because I was checking it earlier today too. Yeah, all good. Yeah. Still, like, November's still here, obviously, so you still have time. And even then, I don't think that they get rid of it right away, right when like the month ends. But like, yeah, just it's worth doing. It's free. If you already have Amazon Prime, it's free because you don't have to pay to sign up for Twitch Prime. You just click it within Amazon Prime. Yeah. And I'm also waiting for you know how a while back I had those like a redemption code things from those websites. I'm waiting for them to have a new one for 2.3. I'm hoping that they do. They did not have one for 2.2. I checked. They had it for 2.1. You know, the Alienware and like the different companies. Um, yeah, I'm waiting for them to update their website to have it maybe potentially for 2.3. Maybe maybe they don't do it every patch. Maybe they do it like every other patch or every few patches. So I'm hoping that they'll do that redemption codes campaign. If they do, obviously I'll post a video on it. But yeah, currently none. But you never know. This patch just launched, so maybe they will collab again and then offer those free codes. You got the new sword already? Congrats! And then make sure you level it up, obviously, because then you can enjoy the 1.5 times experience bonus right now. And if you have Raiden Shogun, I think that your Ascension Mora cost is discounted as well. For swords and polearms is what she does, I think. You won't level it. Oh, true. Yes. Oh, true, true. Yes, yes, yes. Because you don't have albedo. Right. Yes, true. If you don't have albedo, that's a good point. Yeah, and we talked about it yesterday too. Do not waste resources on leveling it up because there's no point. No one else can use that sword. I mean, they can use it, but they're not going to benefit from it. Yeah. Oh, right. You don't have Raiden on this account of yours. Okay. That's okay. You're not leveling it up anyway, so it doesn't matter even if there was a discount or not. But yeah, collect all the refinement materials, but you don't even need to refine them right away. You can just collect it all first. And then, like, if you get Albedo, I'm not saying that you're going to pull for him now, but maybe in the future, I don't know. Um, or whenever they release a one-handed sword user who scales off defense, then that's when you can level it up. Yes, by then the event will be over and you won't get the 1.5 times experience bonus, but whatever. Like, you know, there's no point in leveling up now, wasting your resources, right? And in a way, that's why I kind of am not really leveling my Unforged fully either, because I'm not sure that I want Ito yet either. Even though I know it's not going to be his best, but at least it's something that I have that I can just give him versus trying to go for his weapon, which I won't. So that for sure I'm not going for his weapon, but I don't even know if I want him now. So that's why I'm not sure if I'm going to level it. That's hence it's better to just keep my resources for now instead. And then I think, was it Seka or I Win to Lose or whoever it was? One of them did a video just talk about Goro and saying that he's obviously very niche and he only buffs other Geo characters. So yeah, it's kind of like a Kujo Sara situation again, right? So I don't know. Well, actually, no, it's worse than Kujo Sara because Kujo Sara she can buff any character, but then she has it's just her C6 is just for Electro. But then like him, it's all like just for geo and defense only. So I don't know if it's, yeah, I don't know. Oh, I didn't collect the daily commission prize yet? Okay, I'll do that now then. I know you guys said to not buy these things and waste more, but I'm collecting them because, like I said, if in the early levels of weapons, these shitty fodder weapons actually can help level those up, and then you save your mystic ores that way. So I'm okay with getting this crap because, as we know, we're gonna get the Cinnabar Spindle. So yeah, these shitty weapons can help bring it to level 20, maybe even level 40, and then yeah, then I at least saved my mystic ores. Because I hate farming mystic ores, but I do it every day, but I hate doing it. Yeah. Oh yes, the artifact lady. And yes, these are expensive, but it's artifact experience nonetheless. Oh, since I'm done with my crappy team now, I can switch back to a better team. I zoned out for a moment there. What am I doing? You have to go. The Black Friday sale is out. Okay, enjoy the Black Friday sale. Go shopping, buy stuff, save money. Tell us about what you bought in the Discord. If you have to, buy more than one racket since it sounds like you're gonna break them. If they're on sale, like buy one get one free or buy one get one half off, you should buy two then. And then like you can save the other one when you break one of them. Cause it's still cheaper. Alright, enjoy the shopping. And avoid the crowds and wear your mask, etc., etc. So for you, LD, it hasn't, like, the story hasn't reset yet, right? You don't have the event yet? Nope, not up yet for you? Okay, that's fine. Are you doing any Black Friday shopping? I think you kind of mentioned the other day you might, but then also you just said that you're buying gifts for other people, so maybe it's a good time to buy it while it's on sale now. Because then that way you can save money too, right? Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's in because Junshin was saying that in Asia it's not that big of a deal. Like it's still a big deal, Black Friday, but not as big as obviously North America. Is it a big deal in Australia? Oh, you've already bought the Christmas gift? Wow, you're very early then. Very good, very organized. Because he was saying that like clothing and a lot of stuff is not included in Black Friday or something, in Asia. Which is I think is true, I guess. Because Asia has other shopping days that Western countries don't have. But but yeah, like in Canada, we have pretty much lots of stuff is on sale, and that's the best time. As I was saying to you guys the other day too, it's the best time to buy like expensive items, like big ticket items, like TVs, electronics, appliances, furniture, stuff like that. Um, Clothing, of course, too. Yeah, but he said like it's not like that in Asia. So yeah, because when I was in Asia that year when I lived there, I don't think it was a big deal either. Yeah, it isn't a big deal. Okay, but there are some sales. Okay, that's fair. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure Australia probably has the other shopping days during the year that are more important, maybe. Cyber Monday is there too. Yes, Cyber Monday is a big day. Yeah. So I'm still on the fence if I want to buy those games. I guess I will because they're cheap. But then am I actually gonna play them? Because I still have a bunch of video games that I bought last Black Friday that I didn't play yet, but they were a good deal. Yes. I mean, I got Final Fantasy VII Remake for 50% off last year. That was a big deal in my opinion. But I didn't even play it yet. Anyway, I'm just saying, but then I'm thinking, like, so sometimes some of the, because I know that it's a good game and I know that I would enjoy it. So maybe that's the thing. Like, I should still buy things if they're on, like, on sale because it's hard to get that sale again. Oh, you're not going? Oh no, what happened? Then will you miss the sale? No, I guess not. But then, like, you won't miss the sale, but you may not have as much options later if people buy everything. That's the problem too. And then here we have strategies. Well, I don't know if it's a real strategy that other people use, but it's definitely a strategy that I used. Um, so here you can technically buy the items if you want, right? Like for example, now it's not Black Friday yet here, right? Or you can well some stores already started the sale. They call it Black Friday week already, right? But like technically, if pretend like some stores you wanted the stuff from there or you wanted something from there, I could have bought it for example last week before Black Friday week, right? Or I could just buy it earlier the week too, sure. Like maybe like on Monday or something. And um then like when the sale comes out and if your item, the one that you want, is actually the one that is on sale, technically here we allow it at least. You can go back to the store as long as you didn't open the item yet and didn't like, remove the packaging. You can bring the receipt back there and then tell them to like price adjust. And then they'll give you the difference back. And that way you guarantee that you got the item already. And this is especially the case when it's clothing, because clothing has sizes, and usually everyone is like a certain size. Most people fall into certain categories of sizes, right? Very few people actually want the really small ones or the really large ones. Everyone wants the ones in the middle, right? So then, like, if you go on the actual day, you have to fight through the crowds to get them. But then like you also like risk not getting the item that you want in the size that you want because they might be grabbed by all the people before you. So then getting it earlier ensures A, there's less people to fight with, and B, that you have the item already. And then you just have to make the extra hassle to go back to adjust the price if you have to. That's a strategy. So I've done that before. And yeah, anyway, it is a strategy. 25 to 40% off is still pretty good. There won't be a crowd there? Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess because it's not a big deal, right? Yeah. The US is the craziest. I don't know if you guys have heard. Um, People die in the US on Black Friday. It's pretty sad. People get trampled. Yeah. I don't know about in recent years, but in previous years, even up to like a few years ago, we will hear stories of people getting trampled and people dying over Black Friday. Yeah. Because people rush in and fight over things, and then people get trampled, like they get stepped on by crowds and then they die. People like greeters and stuff, yeah, exactly. People are like crazy. They grab stuff from each other. Some people just grab for the fun of it, you know? They're like grabbing from each other. They don't even want the item. They just want to grab stuff and like fight with people. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, God. So, yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah. Because in the US, what they do is they make you line up outside the store, and only when the time is open, then you're allowed to rush into the store, and then people like, and apparently the US likes to do this, where they have these things that they call door crasher items, and door crasher items are limited. Like, for example, like the first 100 people that grabs, I don't know, like an iPad. I'm just saying that's probably not the case, but for example, the first 100 people that get this iPad are gonna get like I don't know an extra whatever percent off or something like that. Then people are gonna go fight for those things and kill people over it. It's like crazy. It's stupid the way they do it. Yeah. Like here we have door crasher items as well, but here people are orderly. Like they're not gonna like stomp over people or like kill people to get it. So yeah, like if they don't get it, they don't get it, right? Whatever. But I will say it's because the US has bigger deals than we do. Like it's a big deal in Canada, but the US is a biggest deal because they made this holiday or this shopping day. Like they actually literally have things that are on sale up to 80 or 90% off. Whereas here we'd be lucky to get like 60, which is kind of common, 60. But like, 50, 60 is okay. But then like 80 is pretty big, right? So yeah. And a lot of times the people that get trampled are the staff that work in the stores. It's pretty bad. Like for example, a lot of the times in the earlier years, the people that die are the people that open the door because the crowd like rushes in and stops up, like kills them, right? It's pretty stupid to die over your job, also over to die over a shopping day. It's so stupid if you think about it, right? God. So then I think stores at that point they changed their rules so that they don't have a manual person like opening the store doors. They have like electronic like a controller to open the door instead, which makes sense. Yeah, people are crazy. And right now in the US, people are looting. They're looting again. They're rioting and looting. They are, I don't know if you guys see the news from the US often. Maybe you don't see everything, but like, because we're in Canada, so we see lots of US news as well, but I don't like it. But anyway, we do see it. Yeah, like people are looting. They're like stealing people's stuff from their rental cars. They're stealing stuff from like department stores. They're just, and also from like supermarkets because it's not a good time in the US right now. It hasn't been good basically since last year, the last 2 years. Yeah. Like there was Trump and then Biden is good already, but then like the people are crazy. That's the only problem right now. And I say this now with the risk of the fact that it's going to be on YouTube. But the US, let's just keep it, well, maybe I should be more neutral when I say this then. But anyway, the US situation is not good. Let's just leave it there. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yes, I totally agree with you, Chun. Yes. It's pretty bad. But I will say there are bad, crazy people in any country, just so we're clear. It's just that unfortunately the US has a lot of them. But also because the US also has a lot of harsher conditions. Um, they So again, this is not a criticism of the US per se. It will be negative, of course, but it's more like the reality is a lot of people are unfortunately uneducated, don't have access to things, and are willing to do things to get those things. And those things that they're willing to do may involve hurting other people. Because don't just believe what you see on TV, like the people that are educated and or have money, like in the big cities like LA, New York, San Francisco, like the big cities, like those people obviously are rich and educated, duh, right? But then like we're talking about the majority of the other cities then, where there's lots of poverty, lots of like, lack of resources, lack of accessibility to education, healthcare, you know, actual news. Like people are actually, there are a lot of people that are like easily fooled by the fake news because they have no other access, or they didn't go to school, so they can't really tell. Unfortunately, they can't tell the difference, between fake news and like crap that's propaganda versus like the reality, right? So that's why there's lots of this anti-vaccination, or which we call it anti-vax, like resistance. Anti-mask resistance, lots of people that are just being unreasonable and also being really extreme. um, yeah. Now, just so we're clear, we have some of those in Canada too, but by and large, the majority of people here are pretty orderly and pretty friendly, which is part of our custom, I guess, that we're known for. And people here are pretty educated, and pretty, like overall here, I think people are pretty reasonable. Yeah. Now, not to say that we didn't experience, and I'm sure every country experiences. There was lots of racism last year against Asian people, um, at the height of COVID, which was really ignorant, and yeah, that's not cool. But and there was also all the other stuff too, and there was a lot of that here too. So and I live in Vancouver, and Vancouver is one of the most multicultural cities in Canada already, and Toronto is the other one, of course, and because we're the big cities, and like we have lots of Asian people that live here, lots of Chinese, but lots of other Asian people, like Korean people, Japanese people, Vietnamese people, etc. Lots of Indian people, and right, I mean Indian people from India, and I don't mean like Aboriginal indigenous people. We have that too. Yeah. So yeah. So then anyway, like it's just really effed up. That's all I can say. Last year. But the US was beyond effed up, I'm saying, when it came to the whole anti-Asian hate thing. Yes. And then, of course, there was Black Lives Matter, which was a big deal in the US, which definitely is something that everyone should support. And then, like, in Canada, we don't actually have as much African Canadian people. We do have them, but just not as much as in the US. So, although we did do Black Lives Matter stuff here, it just wasn't as big of a scale as per the US. Yeah. And one thing that Canadian people like hate is when other people think that Canadian people are similar to Americans. We hate that because we consider ourselves. I'm not going to use the word better, but basically different in a better way. So yeah, we're not the same as them. Yeah, because we've encountered rude, crazy American people too when they come here, because they think that like they're like, oh, it's so weird here and blah 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 blah, and then like we're like, okay, then go back to the States then. Like not everyone's gonna be like the same as the States. And then there are all these, I don't know if you guys know, but there are lots of American travelers. They put on like Canadian stickers on their backpacks and their suitcases so that they can try to fool people that they're from Canada, because apparently they know that if they're like putting like American flags and stuff on their like backpacks or like travel stuff, they're gonna get like, dirty looks when they go abroad, because Americans don't have a good reputation abroad. They're not good tourists, to be honest with you, because they think they're very selfish and they are inconsiderate and they think that their way is the only way. Yeah. So exactly, we can. But the funny thing is, in Asia, there are a lot of people that don't know this. I'm not saying you, but I'm saying like I went to like, because obviously I go to Japan often, um, and I've obviously lived in Hong Kong, right? And I go to Taiwan and all those places often. There are a lot of people, and Korea too. Those people think that America is really good because they're sold by the propaganda of like obviously Hollywood, the propaganda of the media, the propaganda of like, oh, because America is technically still is the strongest superpower country in the world. They control the world, blah 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 blah, right? So they feel like whatever they do must be right then. Of course, they also see the negative too, but then they still have this dream that overall the American dream or whatever, like it still like makes them better. Yeah. And so one of the things that I kind of advocate, but I'm not being political, but I did advocate this to my friends when I was in Asia. I was just like, no, don't think that. Like they're not better than you. That's basically what I told them. I just said, why would you make it sound like as if Americans are so great? Because that in a way makes it seem like you guys are not as great in comparison. Therefore, you're making them as if they're better than you, which they are not. And then they didn't think of it that way. I'm like, exactly, you're falling for the brainwashing. Don't do that. You know? Yeah, so anyway. Yeah, exactly. They are not better. So, and in a way, it's a good thing that, of course, Black Lives Matter happened. Of course, it's unfortunate that it happened under the circumstance that people died over it. But then I meant like, it's good to bring this inclusiveness and diversity back to the table. Of course, the racism issue as well. It's needed, I think. And the other thing that I am strongly opposed to is the gun situation in the US. Like, it's just so appalling, obviously. But we all know there's some political issue there, right? Obviously, we know that they are pro-guns because they sell guns. Let's be honest. They are also pro-war because they sell guns. They sell weapons and they sell military equipment to other countries. So they are pro all that stuff because they make money off of it. Right, you know? Like, I mean, I could say that we can say a blanket statement that they don't care about people's lives. Obviously, that's not true. They probably do care, but they also care more about the profits. Because it's really disheartening every time, like pretty much every year, there's like school shootings and crazy people that take guns to like the streets and kill people. Like, you know, so like it's just, yeah, that's just how it works in the US, unfortunately. I mean, that sounds like a generalization, but it's always in the news though. That's the unfortunate part. It's always in the news, right? You know, so yeah, it's pretty horrible.
见到了这么美丽的景色，自然会产生云游四海的想法。
It is. It is. It is. I agree with you. It's GTA. It is. And then like the really rich are really rich, right? And then the really poor are really poor. So comparing, I know Asia doesn't have these benefits, but like for example in Canada, I just as a simple thing because some of my Asian friends when they came here to visit, not to visit me specifically, but when they're traveling here, or also when I like go there and we tell them like they don't know these things. Like it's not because they're ignorant, but because they didn't know, right? Like in Canada, for example, if a woman is pregnant and she takes time off from work, right? First she cannot be fired from that job, right? And then B, the government will pay her, while she's on maternity leave for a year, and they've actually extended it now to a year and a half. So the government will pay you, and then also in addition, if your employer is one of the bigger companies or bigger organization, they will pay you as well. So you're going to be guaranteed close to, if not the same or equal to your original full salary for the full year or the year and a half that you took off. The US, even though they're the so-called the biggest country in the world or whatever, they don't even offer that. Only the big companies like Google, Facebook, and whatever, they will offer maternity leave for I think 3 months or 4 months only. They don't even offer the woman a year. Like, and only those big companies will pay out like the salary, but only for 3 to 4 months, right? So like I'm just saying like so there's a difference between benefits and stuff. And then the US is all privatized, like their healthcare and everything, and that's their big thing that they keep fighting. Whereas we do have free healthcare, but I will say here, the thing is that our free healthcare is just it covers the bare minimum basic stuff, like ambulance call, like if you need an ambulance, it'll just cover that for you. When you go to see the doctor, you don't have to pay. But anything more specialist or like requiring surgery or operations, you may need to pay a portion, but it's not going to be as expensive. Yes, that's all. Yeah. But then, like, if you're sick and you are hospitalized, you don't need to pay. Yeah, ambulances, you don't have to pay. And when we go see our family doctors and stuff, we don't have to pay. But when we buy drugs, we have to pay. Yes. Yeah, things like that. So it's actually, yeah, it's just, yeah, and then, I don't know. And then, like, you would think that the US would have, and then US, what the other thing that they're fighting for is paid sick leave, because apparently they don't have paid sick leave. Um, which is very interesting. Anyway, because a lot of their employers don't offer that either. And then they don't have I think they have something, I think they do have minimum wage in some cases, but I don't think that they have a set minimum wage, let's say, a flat minimum wage or a guaranteed minimum wage that's a minimum working wage. Whereas in Canada, we have been, well, I'm not going to say that it's like the best either, but I'm just saying we have been increasing our minimum wage every few years, let's say. Um, yeah, and then we do have paid sick leave for certain jobs, and certain companies will offer it. And then actually, speaking of that subject, we recently, well, at least in my province, for my city at least, they announced that there has to be a minimum 5 days now moving forward from January 1st of next year onward, minimum 5 days of paid sick leave that must be guaranteed for every employee, whether they're part-time or full-time, of any company. Um, so that will be in addition to whatever the company is already offering you. So, or minimum, yeah, as part of, let's say. So it's actually very interesting because like one of my previous jobs, they gave us 3 weeks of paid sick leave every year, and if you don't use it, it doesn't go away. You can roll it over to the next year, and it actually was very useful because it was generous, but very useful because if we're young and healthy, we're not going to take it. Like I wouldn't need to take sick leave unless I had a fever or something and I couldn't go to work, right? Okay, or whatever, right? But then like okay. But then it's very useful because when we in that organization we had met, obviously there's older workers too, right? The older workers apparently, because that system was in place where you can keep rolling over your paid sick leave, so it's like a banked sick leave, so you can keep rolling it over and accumulating it, right? And yeah, and then what happened was that as we get older, we have more problems. Let's be honest, health problems. So when they're older, they're like, oh yeah, so then they're using it because they actually have real health problems that they can't go to work for, and then they end up using it, which is fine because you're getting paid full while you're off, right? So it's actually a good system in that way. Yeah, but not every employer offers it like that, but there was variations of how it's offered. But anyway, the US offers none of that. So, yeah, just as a comparison. So, like the US, if you think about it, they're the richest country, or one of the richest, they're the most powerful country, but they're so backwards when it comes to these basic necessities. Yeah, I think Australia, because Australia and Canada are Commonwealth countries, and we follow basically the European style of doing things. So, and Europe has, I think Europe still is, they offer the best benefits. Like in France, the people only have to work 30 hours a week to be considered full time, and and they get 2 hour lunch breaks. And yeah, it's kind of amazing. And then, and it was really annoying too because when we were in France, when I was traveling there, it's so stupid because like if we go to a restaurant when they're taking their 2 hour lunch, well then we can't eat then. Because I'm like, well, I need to eat too from my lunch, but you guys are off on your lunch break, so then you close for 2 hours, and then I'm like, okay. So then anyway, so sometimes during the lunch, it was really weird, yeah. So during like in Paris, we would just go to those like those food carts or food truck things. Like I don't know if that's really what they were called back then, but anyway, they're just like those vendors on the street, and they would just sell us like paninis and wraps and stuff like that. We just ate that as our lunch because if the restaurant or cafe that we wanted to go to was closed because they're having their lunch, then it's just kind of weird, yeah. But yeah, Europe has the most generous benefits, I believe, for employees and citizens. However, they also have the highest tax rates, I believe, too. And the reason why is because that tax pays for those benefits, right? I think they take I think some European countries charge like 18 or 20% like tax. It's a lot, and yeah, and they charge like high VAT and sales taxes too. So, I don't know. I guess, but then at the same time, I guess, but then they did say like a lot of the European country people are happier. They have a happier lifestyle because they're more free. They don't work as much. I can see that though. That. If you don't have to, I mean, come on. I was retired for the last few years, right? So like, not working as much is more happy. It's true. But I know Asia has the longest work hours too. Like, I think people in Asia, well, not all Asian countries, but Japan and Korea and I guess China too, they have the longest working hours. Because in Japan, they have this rule where it's like if the boss doesn't leave, you can't leave, which is kind of very archaic and old and traditional for some reason. Yeah. Of course, and now a lot of younger workers have chosen to like quit those kind of jobs and find companies that are more modern with their policy. Yeah, and then yeah, it's just really weird. And then like apparently some people that I know that work in offices and those kind of companies in Japan, they were telling me they were complaining. They were like, yeah, it's so stupid because like sometimes there's no more work because you're done for the day, but then you have to sit there and pretend like you're working or start like tomorrow's work even though you were done already and you could have went home, but you can't go home because you can't leave until the boss leaves, but the boss doesn't leave because the boss is the boss. And then I'm like, okay, that's so stupid. And then the other thing that people don't like in Japan and Korea is that they have this culture where you have to hang out with your boss and your team after work for happy hour. And that's kind of the case in some cases here too, but not it's not required. But then it's always a nice to do because because it technically makes you bond with them more, and technically it gives you, I guess you can call it leverage or more like face time, let's say, with people, and then you can then possibly get a promotion out of it. I don't know, because some people were saying like in Asia, in Japan, and Korea, as an example, they were saying like they were up for promotion, but they would never get it. And then I guess their boss or their assistant to the boss would tell them like the reason is because you don't stay late or you don't go to those events as often as the other people. So then like you're not as memorable. So then they won't give you the promotion. Like there's like this kind of bullshit that they do there. It's kind of weird. Yeah. It's weird. That's what I'm saying. Like, no country is perfect. No policy is perfect, right? You know, but there's all these weird things that you learn about. And I think the only way to learn about them is to actually go to those countries and talk to people. So that's why I'm very fortunate that I'm able to like go and travel all over and like learn these different things about different countries. So it's actually very interesting. And I will say in Canada, our news overall is pretty good in terms of like reporting all sides. But there is some bias too. Like the bias usually here is still that towards Western countries versus like China, for example. I'm not siding with China, but I'm just saying like China has their version of things too. Now, some people believe that their version is fake, but that's not always true either, because obviously I have traveled to China and I have friends in China, and you know, I can see both sides that way. But I'm just saying like we can't believe everything that we're given. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, anyway, I don't want to get political here, but I'm just saying it's actually very interesting. That's what I'm saying. That you can learn a lot about every other country and other cultures just by talking to other people and meeting them. And then just from like I guess one last thing, just from a very economist kind of like capitalist perspective for myself, and as a person that plays with stocks, um, I don't know if you guys know, but anyway, Canada was involved with the whole Huawei executive thing, where the US wanted us to detain the CEO of Huawei, and she was detained here in Canada, in Vancouver, for like 3 years. And she was recently, I think last month or yeah, she was recently like released and let go and returned to China, right? And to run her company, right? Okay, we all know, at least from those of us who can see all sides here, that it was clearly a political move. That they were trying to do that because obviously the US was citing all this like property what was that, like intellectual property infringement and like fraud and all this other stuff. Fine, okay, whatever. If they did that, they did that, okay. But then like anyway, them getting us involved was not cool. And then like and also because it affected our economy too. Because the trade war was only against China, between China and the U.S. But because we got involved with that, then Huawei and China went after Canada as well, and you know what I mean. And then anyway, then all the Western countries sided together to like go after China, and then like it's all very political. If you can see if you can see what they're after, they're trying to knock them down so they can take their business. Huawei is one of the biggest telecom and also like electronics companies in the world, right? Not maybe not as big as like Google or Apple or whatever, right? But they're pretty big, right? So then like and then I think they were vying for like 5G, like at that time, like last year or the year before, they were remember all the different companies were trying and countries were trying to vie for like 5G and all that stuff. Yeah, so I think Huawei was very close, and so for them to like do this was because they want to, no, anyway, and then all this trade war and all this other bullshit, and then they made it so that like Huawei like couldn't sell their products in certain countries, and all these bans and boycotts and all this bullshit. Well, that's because again you're trying to steal their business. Essentially, that's what you're doing, because you're doing this using that as your cover, like, oh, we don't support companies that do this fraud or whatever, intellectual property stealing and identity fraud and blah blah blah. Well, let's be real here. Facebook and Amazon and Google are stealing our information every day, are they not? Like, why do you think like the search results like know what you want, right? Like they're obviously, and yes, on the one hand, yes, we're signing up to let them take our information, but technically, like it's the same, isn't it? Anyway, that's just my point of view there. There's a lot of these things. Yeah, anyway, so she was jailed here, but house arrest. She has a mansion here, okay? She has like a, I don't know, 10 or 20 million dollar like mansion. She's fine. She has servants. It's fine. She was still running her business from her mansion here. But then that's not the point. The point is like, she had to like, she was stuck here for 3 years. Yeah, anyway, there's all these things that like that's why you can't fully believe whatever the U.S. is dishing out. That's all I'm gonna say. And that's the effed up part is that they got other countries involved, such as Canada and the other Western countries and European countries, to side with them to go against China, right? Because it's to their benefit to go after them because they're the second biggest superpower now, right? And to, like try to take their resources and their business, basically. Like it's yeah. And then if you think about it, there's all this bullshit too about like the whole like okay, they're all attacking China because they're saying that China has what they're contributing a lot to the horrible like climate global warming and climate change and stuff. Yeah, but there's two parts of the story. All the countries are like giving all their business to China so that they in a sense to make them like create and manufacture everything because China's like the big manufacturing country. They manufacture most of our products, do they not? Right? So it's kind of like contradictory. You want them to like do your stuff for you cheap because obviously they make it good quality and they make it cheap. But then you want them to also like cut down like their like factory emissions and stuff like that. It's like well you can't have it both ways then. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I always say like just be mindful of what's being dished out in the news because it's not always portrayed accurately and there is bias there too. Despite the fact that news is supposed to be neutral. Basically, and then the other thing that pissed us off because me as an investor, okay, so you guys may be too young to know, but 10 years ago in the financial crisis, 2008, 2009, the U.S. went to hell. Basically, in the nutshell, they went to hell so bad that our dollar, Canadian dollar, and the Australian dollar was worth more than the U.S. dollar for 5 years. Our money was worth more than their money from 2009 to 2014. And I remember this because I was investing during that time. And I made money just by converting money back and forth between Canadian and American. So then, like, um, yeah. And then so I expected, and myself and other investors who lived through that expected the same thing to happen here when the trade war was announced in 2017, 2018 between China and the US. Because if Canada did not get involved with that
日
stupid
常总
Huawei
有一天
thing,
会迎来
we
终
could have
点。
benefited because China
有
was
一
going
次，
after US was going after China, right? If we did not contribute any part of it and take part in that, we would have benefited because then China was going to transfer all their contracts away from the US to Canada, and then we would have benefited economically. And then obviously our stocks would have been worth more money and our money would have
一
been worth more
买对
money.
花，
But
谈
no, we
再
had to
久，
get involved with that stupid thing, and then they
只
banned us
可惜
too,
对
and then
方
we didn't benefit. So anyway,
何日
obviously
再
I'm
见。
telling you my bias here, but literally that was what I was expecting. I expected a repeat of 2008, 2009, where our money would have been worth more than theirs and our economy would have benefited. But no, 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 we had to just get involved, and yeah, so. Anyway, this went completely to a different tangent. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, when you get older, obviously, you'll learn more about how the real world works, let's say. Stuff that's not in the news, stuff that's not really taught, but you'll just see how it works as when you start talking to people from different countries and different places. Yeah. And like even okay, whether it was Trump or Biden, America has always been the slogan, America first. They are very selfish. They only care about their own benefits. They could care less about any other country. They say that they care, but they don't. But what they do is they use their influence to influence other countries, such as us, Canada, and the other Western countries. So yeah, anyway, let's change the topic. So what's new with you, LD? Nothing much? Okay. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I think, nothing is good, basically, because like no news is good news, right? Finished doing my dailies. Good for you. Yeah, I mean, as you saw already on my screen, I already did it all too. So right now we're just chilling, I guess. But I guess, yeah, we're pretty much, we can wrap this up too. Because there isn't much happening in the game right now. And obviously Chun Chun is playing the storyline. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, go have dinner then. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end this soon too, because I started earlier today, and also because like I already did everything as you already saw as well. So, yeah. Oh, Shunshin's playing another game? Is it that cookie game that you keep talking about? Awesome, yes. The cookie game, yes. Well, tomorrow's a new day, and then hopefully we can make some more money with the stock market. It'll be always good. More is always appreciated, because you never know for a rainy day. Oh, missed it. Whatever.
拒收并蓄。
So is that cookie game, Chun Chun, is it like an RPG or what is it? Explain it to us. Oh, it's an RPG. It's a very generous gacha. Oh, okay. Right. Oh, yeah, yeah. I think you mentioned that the other day. Yes. Because when I thought about it, I kept thinking it was one of those like short, like games on the phone where you just do like little quests or whatever. I thought I dropped another one, but whatever. I guess not. Oh well. It's only Wednesday. Well, it's Thursday now. I can't wait for the weekend, even though I haven't planned anything. But I want to buy some stuff for Black Friday. I want to buy some video games. I mean, I could buy them now, but I'm still thinking. And I'm thinking, what else I need to buy. I might want to go buy like some pots and pans. Hmm. It would be great if Genshin offered like a Black Friday sale, but they don't. See, that would be a more guaranteed way for them to make money, in my opinion. Oh yeah, that's the other thing I noticed. This stupid game does not celebrate holidays. Have you noticed? Like other than Chinese New Year, yes. Like for Lantern Rite, okay, and the Mid Autumn Festival for the Moon Chase event, which is also their anniversary event. But have you noticed this game did not celebrate Halloween? And I don't even know if they're gonna celebrate Christmas. Which is a missed opportunity in my opinion. Now for Halloween, what they did do was some like web stuff, like web art, fan art, or whatever. But then like they didn't do like an actual event in the game. which I think is a missed opportunity. And it's all again a missed opportunity for them to sell like I thought they were gonna sell Halloween skins. I did a video on that too on Halloween, but I just said like it's a missed opportunity. Like, see, for a company that's so greedy and stingy, I'm surprised that they wouldn't think about these things. I'm sure they did, but maybe they just didn't want to do it. Um, you know, like if they made like Halloween style costumes for the characters, I'm sure they would have made some money. And then similarly, like with Christmas coming up, I don't think they're going to do anything either, because Christmas is not a Chinese holiday, but still, like that's an opportunity to make money, isn't it? Still, if you were to make an event. Now, arguably, the current Albedo storyline includes a snowman making event, right? So maybe that's their so-called Christmas event, but not really, because that's more just like a winter event. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, this game for some reason does not celebrate real holidays in the real calendar, other than the Chinese ones. Um, and they don't implement them into the game, which they should. Yeah. Oops. Oh my
略
god.
感疲惫。
Hang on, let me go back up there. Yeah, they're really cheap, basically. Um, even though they can make money from it, though, I'm surprised that they don't do it. That's all. And this game, last year, uh, like you know when we crossed, because last year when this game came out in September, end of September, but then like after that, like they didn't celebrate New Year either, like the Western New Year. So like it's very interesting to me because other gotcha games would definitely I don't know if you guys played this other game. It's older obviously, but it's called King's Raid, and I used to play it for like a year maybe, and it was really fun. And then like they were very generous too. And then it's yeah, and then they would celebrate all these things. Like on Halloween, we would get Halloween skins. In the summer, we would all get like we would get bathing suit skins for our characters. Um, some you had to buy, some you had to like, you know, some you could get from events or whatever. And then Christmas, you would get Christmas skins, right? You know, and then like for the actual New Year, they were very generous. They would give you like gems or whatever, and resources equivalent and money, or gold or whatever, equivalent to like, you know, whatever, right? And then every periodically, like because it tracks like how many days you've been playing. Of course, Genshin does that too. But like, it would be like, oh, you've played the game for 90 days straight now. Here's like a reward. Oh, you played the game for like a year now. Here's a like, you know, Genshin doesn't do any of that stuff to celebrate our milestones for us. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Again, like it's just kind of illogical because those are opportunities for them to make money. Like I'm not saying like they're giving us free stuff only, but I'm talking about like skins and stuff that they can charge money for. If they made them like themed for holidays, people would buy them. I'm pretty sure they would. And like again, summer, right? You know, Clee's Mid Island Summer Adventure. Yes, we got Jean and Barbara's skin, and since then we haven't gotten any more skins. And I thought this is so stupid. Why don't they sell swimsuits for the characters? Like that would make so much money for them, especially in the summer. You know, that would make total sense, right? But no, it was. Like, I mean, yeah, they probably made some money from the Jean one because that one was paid. But then, like, it's just really stupid. Then they're not thinking properly, or they are, but they're not willing to do it for some reason. But they would make so much more money if they actually did all that. Because I'm pretty sure lots of people would buy swimsuits. I think swimsuits would be the most popular and most obvious gotcha character skin for any gotcha game. Yes, they're dumb. Or lazy. Because maybe they're lazy to pay somebody to like design the costumes. Maybe they're thinking that they won't make the money back, which is bullshit, because they definitely would make the money back. Right, you know? So, I don't know. Alright, okay, yeah. Alright, see you, Chun Chun. Thank you guys for coming back, and see you, LD, as well. I know he was gonna leave for dinner too, so yeah, thank you. I'm gonna stop here too because I'm running out of things to do. And thank you for hearing me rant about, my views in some senses about US. Alright, see you guys. Enjoy your day. Have a great day. And I guess I will just finish up here, and then I'm gonna end the stream too, because I don't think there's anyone else here now. It's just you guys and me, I think. Have a good day. Hopefully, we make some stock money tomorrow as well. Alright then. Okay. So thank you guys again, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. And feel free to just continue chatting in the Discord. I'll respond whenever. Alright, thanks, and have a good